Hello everyone and welcome to Book Days. Today's adventure has brought us to the Fort Worth Zoo. Today's adventure is inspired by the classic children's book A Sick Day for Amos McGee by Philip Stead, illustrated by Aaron Stead. This book is about a dedicated zookeeper named Amos who bonds with the animals at the zoo. When Amos gets sick, the animals load up on a bus and go visit him. Amos's animal friends include an elephant that plays chess, a tortoise that runs races, a shy penguin, a rhinoceros that has a runny nose, and last but not least, an owl that's afraid of the dark. And what better place to find all of Amos's animal friends than the Fort Worth Zoo? To read the entire story, find the book at your local bookstore or library today. Now join me on my adventure as I learn all about Amos's animal friends. So we are here on a hunt for all of Amos's friends here at the Fort Worth Zoo. So let's go try and find them. The Aldabra Tortoise is recognized by its massive size. It is dark gray in color and has a long neck and short, thick legs. Male tortoises can get up to over 500 pounds. They eat plants, grasses, and leaves. And did you know, in their search for food, they can knock down trees that create pathways that other animals can use? I don't think they're going to be winning any races. Do you? Amos always let the tortoise win. That was so exciting getting to see those tortoises. Now we're on our way to go find another friend of Amos's, the penguin. Let's see if we can find him. The next friend of Amos's that we found today is the penguin. These penguins are called rockhopper penguins, and they get their name literally because they hop. They jump with both feet off rocks and into the water. These penguins, you can tell which ones they are because they have the crazy hair that's yellow. You can find them in New Zealand and South America, and they eat krill and things that you can find in the water. Now in the book, the friend of Amos, the penguin friend, is shy. You think that these penguins are shy? Here at the Fort Worth Zoo, and this is one of the most highlighted exhibits in the entire zoo. And if you take a really close look, you can see baby Brazos. This baby was born here at the Fort Worth Zoo in 2021 and is absolutely adorable. So I am joined here at Elephant Springs by Olivia Olvera, part of the outreach program here at the Fort Worth Zoo. Thank you so much for being here today.
No problem. I'm glad to be here.
I'm so excited to talk about the elephants.
Yes.
They are
one of my favorite animals of all time. And can you just start a little bit by talking about the particular animals in this exhibit?
Yeah, so out here we have Asian elephants, so that's one of the 2 species of elephants in the world, and you can tell them apart because they have smaller ears that are more shaped like India, and they also have 2 humps on their heads instead of 1 like African elephants do, and then in Asian elephants, only the males are going to grow tusks. So out here you can actually see we have a mother with her baby. You can tell that she is the mom because she is a female without any tusks. That is Bluebonnet. And then following right behind her is her 3-month-old baby Brazos, who is a male, so one day he will grow little tusks.
He is adorable. I could watch him all day long. Now, he is a rather big baby. You mentioned he's 3 months old and weighs how many pounds?
He weighs about 575 pounds now, which has more than doubled since he was born. He was born at 255 pounds on October 21st, 2021.
He is precious. Now, in the book, Amos has an elephant friend that plays chess with him. Can you talk a little bit about the elephant trunks? And are they really capable of playing chess?
So elephants do have very specialized trunks. It is a prehensile trunk, meaning that it's basically acting as an extra hand and allows them to do many more things that other animals can't do. That trunk is incredibly powerful and has so many muscles and tendons and ligaments in it. They actually have over 100,000 different components in that trunk, which allow them to pick up something as small as a dime or a chess piece to something as large as a fallen tree limb. So that trunk is very versatile when it comes to interacting with their environment. And while our elephants can't play chess, they do get lots of different activities every day. We have a very intense enrichment program here at the Fort Worth Zoo, which basically means that every day our animals are getting something new to see or interact with, something that's getting them to be both mentally and physically stimulated. So with the elephants, because they are able to work through so many different things. They are very smart animals. They get tons of different things from puzzle feeders, like you might give your cats or dogs at home that help them interact with their food. We can give them lots of different types of puzzle feeders. Even back there, it's probably pretty hard to see in the video, but they have a big bag that's suspended that has all of their hay in it. And so they have to actually work through that hay bag with their trunks, using all those muscles and tendons to rip down the hay like they would be ripping off leaves from a tree. We can give them big balls that have a tiny little hole in them where they have to roll that around to see how they're going to get their food out. They get bubbles. The babies tend to really like bubbles, so that's a fun game for them.
That's awesome.
And tons of other things in between.
Aww. And what are some of the things that baby Brazos does in a day?
So he's pretty typical of any baby animal, where he likes to sleep a lot, he likes to eat a lot, and then he also just likes to have a carefree day of playing with his toys and with his mom. So you can definitely find him hanging close to his mom right now. He's still young enough that he sticks pretty close to mom. He has a few different things that he can interact with out there, like a ball and a little donut, and you'll see him playing around with those. And then he also just likes to hang out next to mom, enjoying her company and getting some milk whenever he's hungry.
He looks like a little curious fella.
Yes, he is definitely begun to get a little bit more confident in exploring his habitat. You can see him kind of approaching the water and seeing what that's all about. He has, to my knowledge, not gotten in the water yet. At least out here, he has played around in some more shallow water. But if he's anything like his big brother, then he'll probably love taking a dip in the water in no time.
That is precious. Now, in regards to working here at the zoo, Amos is a zookeeper, and he makes time for all of his good animal friends, although he's very busy. I'm sure that your job is very busy educating everybody about these wonderful animals. What is it like to work at a zoo?
Yeah, so a lot of people think, wow, being a zookeeper is so fun. You get to play with the animals all day long. And while I wish that was what my job was, that is a very, very small portion of the job.
Sure.
So your typical day is going to be consisting of prepping all the food that all of these guys eat.
Wow.
So all the fruits and vegetables, any grain. For elephants, they're cutting down, they're cutting up or cutting bamboo. If there's a tree that's fallen anywhere that's approved for them to eat, they might spend a lot of day cutting the bits and pieces of that tree so that they can give that to the elephant. And then a big part of it is cleaning up after them. So
when no one likes to talk about it.
Yeah, so cleaning up all of their poop, making sure that their habitat and their home is nice and clean.
Yes.
Making sure they have clean bowls, like water bowls to drink out of, and basically making sure that everywhere that they are interacting with and living is staying nice and healthy for them.
That's such an important part of the zoo, is everything that encompasses this safe and clean environments for them to live in.
Yes.
No doubt.
And then last part of the day is that enrichment that we were talking about. So building new enrichment for the animals, figuring out new ways to present it to them, and just making sure that everyone is staying both mentally and physically active, and mimicking those natural behaviors that they would be doing out in their natural habitat.
No doubt. Wow, that is so eye-opening to get a real-life perspective of someone that works at a beautiful and nationally renowned zoo. Amos's other friends at the zoo was the rhino. Olivia, can you share just a little bit about this particular rhino and the rhinos you have here at the zoo?
Yeah, so this is Crockett, and he is a black rhino, which is one of our 2 species of rhino that we have here at the zoo. We also have the Asian one-horned rhino, and you'll notice a couple differences between the Asian one-horned rhino and Crockett is that he actually has 2 horns. Wow. Black rhinos and white rhinos will have 2 horns. The one in the back is typically shorter than the one in the front. And a cool thing about rhino horns is that they actually keep them at whatever size and shape that they prefer. So Crockett, being a young boy, doesn't always have the best horn hygiene. So if he was a little closer, you could actually see that his horn is a little hairy, because those horns are actually made out of keratin. And unless they're kept well groomed and shaved down, they kind of actually look like hair is coming off of them, which is kind of how Crockett's horn looks a lot of the times, because he's still a young male, doesn't have the best horn hygiene yet. But with black rhinos, they also have a distinguishing lip. As opposed to the white rhino, which is the other species of African elephant, black rhinos have a prehensile lip, much like the elephant trunk. They're able to use that to wrap around leaves and branches and pull off all their food, while the white rhino has a flat lip that's more built for grazing.
Oh, very interesting. And you mentioned keratin. Keratin is the same material that our hair is made of in our fingernails and toenails. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly.
So it's very cool that they have some of the same kind of materials on their body that we have on ours.
Yeah.
Very cool. So Olivia, I have to ask, in the book, Amos's rhino friend has allergies. Is that actually a thing in real life?
So lots of animals do have allergies, and here at the zoo, if we were to observe that maybe an animal was exhibiting some behaviors that might be a concern that they did have allergies, we could definitely test for that. Now our rhinos haven't had that issue, but we do have other animals such as our jaguar. She actually went through an allergy panel of tests to actually discover what she was allergic to. So it is possible that other animals are able to have allergies as well.
Wow, that's really interesting. I never knew that.
Very cool.
The last zoo friend of Amos is the owl. Now here at the Fort Worth Zoo, they have a special type of owl called the burrowing owl, and it's rather small, as you can see in the back, and it's called the burrowing owl because they literally make burrows in the ground. They live in dry grasslands, desert area, and they actually make like a rattle sound to ward off any maybe rattlesnakes that might want to go in their burrows. They eat insects, insects and frogs, and special thing about them is that they're diurnal, which means that they're active during the day, just like the owl in the book that is afraid of the dark, and that Amos reads to the owl in the book. And so this particular owl is just like the one in the book. It's super tiny and precious. Take a look. Well, it's been quite an adventure here at the Fort Worth Zoo. Thank you so much for joining us for our adventure, all based off of the children's book, A Sick Day for Amos McGee by Philip Stead. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming adventures, and become a patron on our website, bookdays.org, if you want to see more literary adventures to come. We'll see you soon.
Want more book days? Well, the adventure has only begun. Check out these episodes and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming adventures.